G'day guys and welcome to Dine Empire. This time we're nearing completion on the UC Torana build. Well, except for that. Okay, so as you can see guys, we are now mixing up some paint in order to do some touch-ups in the interior. This is a specific vinyl paint. I don't know what makes it so fancy, but basically we got this paint matched to the door trim color, and all those door trims are in reasonably good shape. They have faded in spots and are a bit patchy. So we're gonna give this a nice even coat of some vinyl paint and get these looking all uniform. So we'll do the same for the armrests and pop all those on today. Hopefully they don't have to come off again. But anyway, we're going to give this a coat and see how the color matches up. Can't wait to see it on the car. All right, so while we wait for door trims to flush off between coats, we are now working on reassembling the doors. We got some front door rubbers to go on the front two doors. The rear ones were pretty good because obviously the back doors don't get used as often. So they're going on now. And aside from two linkages and a key barrel in the door, this door's ready to go. So I can't wait to see this door trim on. It's gonna look so good. Oh yeah. Happy with that?
Love it.
All right, so I'm a bit OCD with window regulator winders, and they always have to have a bit of an angle. I hate it when they all stop in a different area. So wherever you like them, make sure they're all equal. This one has got a lot of slop in the regulator, so once it's up, it's relaxed there, so it looks all right. Now on with the door handles. These things are a little bit corroded, but they're original, so we're gonna run with those. And the door trims have come up pretty nice. Once again, They're not perfect, but original door trims, they're pretty good. This isn't a fully restored car. We're just doing our best with what we got. Armrests come up mint, and as you can see, the paint match is really good. You notice the tops are slightly different because these are matched to the roof lining color. We had to sort of start and stop somewhere. The roof lining color goes down to the B pillar as well. So it was always going to be a mismatch. So it's just a matter of working out what goes where. So that's what we've come up with. And I actually don't mind the two-tone. What do you think?
I love it.
Andrew's happy with it. So yeah, we've got one done and we're risking it by putting it all together and hope that we don't have to go in there again. But so far, everything's working. So fingers crossed we don't have to go inside this door again. Let's keep chipping away. Okay, so we finished up doing one door, just so we got a glimpse of hope in how this is going to come out. It's coming out awesome, but now back to reality of reassembling the rest of the doors. One of the main things that's been holding us up is the weather strips, and on the Toranas, these are the same on the inside and the outside. They're both rubber, and they're both press-on metal clips that go straight into the door panel, and they are a freaking nightmare. I found the only way really to do this that I know, unless other people have done it and know differently, I couldn't do it without the glass in there. I just simply couldn't get the leverage without risking breaking the glass. So all the glass had to come out, which is a total pain. And these clips, these are from Rare Spares. They're too long, you have to cut them down. The best way to cut them down, I find, is with an angle grinder and a cutting disc, like a real 1 mil thick cutting disc. Cut through the metal, and it will also cut through the rubber. So get them cut to size. I don't know why they're not cut to size, stupid. Anyway, done that, and now the next trip is these little clips here. You want to put a little dab of grease on each one of those and then start putting them in, because I've tried without grease and no kidding, I'm nearly pulling this freaking door off its hinge. So dab them up with grease, and I've been using a big flat head screwdriver right over the clip and then getting heaps of weight into it, and it's taking all of my bloody weight to get these on. Another thing as well to bear in mind when you do the outside ones, get someone to hold the door from the door sort of frame here, because otherwise you're putting all that pressure on your door hinge, and not a good scenario. So we're going to go ahead now, continue painstakingly getting these things on, and then get the glass back in. Hopefully we can get at least 1 or 2 more doors done for the other day. Alright, so as you can see, passenger side is all buttoned up now. It is looking so good. Andrew's super happy with how it's coming about. So yeah, one more door to do, and then all the doors are sorted out. Then we're onto the dash. As you can see, we've got a new GTS steering wheel here. I've got to put the center cap on now. I've got to reassemble the handbrake lever, and one other thing we haven't shown you yet is this. Check this out. Bam! The bang shifter. We got this Aeroflow bang shifter. Can't remember the model. This is called the, I'll come show you what this is. The Bullet, it's called. Aeroflow, the top one there, bang shifter. And the reason we chose that one is, as you can see, it is a super stock looking shifter. I'm not big on ratchet fancy shifters. They never work very well, and they look tacky most of the time. This one, as you can see, looks really sleek and nice and subtle. So by the time I do a custom console and have that sitting in there, I think it's going to look super mint. The reason we went that way is because the engine that's going to go in this car is an automatic, and I don't have all the linkages and shifter and stuff anyway. So we went aftermarket, and that's what we ended up with. So once all that's done, we're going to move on to the underside and then get up to my place in Forest and start doing some engine stuff. But that's not for now. We've got to continue on getting the inside all buttoned up. It's going to come along really good. Super happy with how it's looking. All right, guys, so I'm back down at the shop and I'm having a crack at trying to fit this shifter in the Torana, and I've got the shifter sort of sitting in there. The surround, which usually was a big box section, which is sort of designed to go all the way to the hump, I've pretty much deleted that all. I've cut it all off, so all I've got now is the surround. In order to bolt this billet top plate back in place, I've left the remaining border here with the screw holes, and now it's just a matter of chopping up this console and trying to somehow make it look factory. So I'm just going to keep cutting and re-screwing things in until everything sort of sits in place, and then we have to connect the dots. It's going to be painstaking, but I think it's going to be definitely worth it. Okay guys, so we are back down the shop on the Torana yet again today. If you haven't noticed already, this is a video of pieces of many days over the last few weeks, all jumbled up together to give you some updates on this Torana. We're at the time-consuming end of the build, we'll call it, where a lot of hours are spent, but not a lot of visual progress is made. So that's why I'm doing it this way, just adding all little bits and pieces so you guys can see a bit more of an impact by the time the end of this video comes along. And we're making some good progress, but we are doing things hopefully the right way. I'm taking my time, nicely detailing everything as it all goes back, and there is a lot of hours of just reassembly and detailing and painting little bits and pieces as everything goes back together, basically doing a restoration. So yesterday, nearly finished with the interior on the car. There's only a few little touch-ups to do inside the car, and a couple of chrome trims to do on the outside, and the outside's looking nearly finished as well, all except for the front end. We've got to do a little bit there. But for now, we got this thing on the hoist last night. The young lad, Will, that Jake has here working with him during the week, ripped out the rear end for us, and just purely a time management thing. He's pulled this all out, including the full 4-link rear end, the fuel system, and the fuel lines and everything, in order so we can get some stuff underneath this car sorted. So I'm going to spend most of the day under here cleaning this all up, getting it super clean, and then this is going to get all coated with underbody shoots, and the underside is going to look as good as the top side. I'm going to get dirty today, but by the end of it, this is going to look really good. Alright guys, so we're on the home stretch with this UC now. This is the last day I've got to work on it before our event this weekend, and we're getting super close. The rear end is all back in the car, wheels are on, I've got a fresh set of wheel nuts and wheel caps to go on, so they're going to go on now. And also I've been working on the inside. Interior's come up so good. That's nearly done, but close enough to call it done. Absolutely stoked with how that's coming up. So now all that's left to do is I have to put a red wool on one of these tires, as we had to get it replaced, and the front end needs to be assembled. So we're talking headlights, indicators, bumper, and the bonnet goes on. That's all going to happen now. Finish up some trims, and then we're going to be done with this thing. Okay, so I didn't get as far as I wanted to on the Torana build. There's a trim that I've misplaced, unfortunately. The wheel nuts that I purchased were wrong, of course, and there's a little bit of panel alignment I need to do in the front end, but overall, this is as good as it's going to get for this time round. Really stoked with the outcome. Andrea's wrapped as well. Most of the interior is all done. Most of the exterior is all done. And overall, I couldn't be happy with the result of this thing. It's pretty much time to get it out of Jake's workshop. He's been kind enough to let us have it here for the last few months, and it's now time to go to my shop. We're going to take it up to Forrester next and get stuck into it in my shed, where we're going to then go ahead and put in the motor. All right, that's going to be it for this time around. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave us a comment, check out the online store, and follow along with all the builds that we've got going on. Now, don't forget, for those of you who are in Adelaide, we have an event on tomorrow morning put on myself and Big Charlie. We've got Cars and Coffee down here at Burleigh Avenue, Woodville North, which is the 30th of January, tomorrow morning. So come down, check that out. And if you do miss that, check it out next week. We'll have a video on that event, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers, guys.